Hey there, cosplay fans. Welcome to Cosplay Cafe. I'm Kelly, one of your two baristas for the night, and we are serving up a healthy, steaming cup of cosplay. Tonight, we're going to be talking 90s movies cosplay because who doesn't love the 90s? Which, by the way, they were only like 10 years ago. Yeah, we'll go with that. We're not old. We're vintage. So I'm going to play the opening credits and then I will give you an introduction for tonight's guest. All right, so Creely is not with us tonight because she's at Indie PopCon. So if you are at Indie PopCon, make sure you stop by her Pokeballs by Creely booth. She will have Johnny there as her booth babe. But I do have Andrea, my lovely co-host and co-barista. Welcome, Andrea.
Hi, everybody.
Hey there. And tonight's guest is my dear friend Beth, who is just ridiculously talented. I cannot with how talented she is. Words are usually easier, but Beth she just does it all. And
just know ridiculously talented is a very good set of adjectives.
It really is. And Beth was a roomie to my Michelle last C2E2. Tonight she's in her civvies because she's not feeling so well, but she was still kind enough to join us, which I love. We really appreciate you, Beth. So welcome back.
You know, you're bringing a lot of anticipation here with all of these superlatives that I feel like I just cannot live up to. So, real.
I think you'll be fine.
Trust me that I could pump you up more and still not get close. So
that's what we do. We inflate everybody's egos. That's what we're here for. So,
hello, Ryan. He says hello there in his Kenobi voice.
We'll take it. Hey, if you're using Ewan McGregor when that is 90s, because that came out at the end of the 90s.
Yes, that is a good 90s reference. And Ryan wants to know how we are. So
surviving.
Exist. Yeah.
It's been a week.
It's been a wild 2 weeks, but we're here.
Kidney stone surgery, vascular migraine. Andrea's just had a couple of weeks that have been rough.
Yes.
Yes, Ryan. The 90s are the best decade ever because of one thing: Power Rangers. That was my jam.
Dude, I was that kid. Remember that week that they ran it like on the weekday afternoons? We were running home from school with like the Green Ranger. Oh man, my brothers and I were like yelling for people to get away from the TV because Power Rangers were on a weekday.
I tried to write a play based on the Power Rangers and cast all my friends as Power Rangers. It didn't go anywhere. We didn't actually make it to the stage. Not even it was going to be like a backyard play. Yeah.
We should still do it. We come do it in your backyard.
Yes, I'm down.
We all could totally pull off high school students, right?
I call Pink Ranger.
We could do it.
My husband just called Zordon. We'd make a great Zordon, honey.
Well, we'll make my brother be the Green Ranger because he would beat us all up if he couldn't be the Green Ranger. Brad was obsessed with him.
Okay.
I'm not the heroic type. Can I be Rita?
Yeah, you
would rock it as Rita. I want to see this.
You probably would make that costume look amazing.
I would have to make that costume. So let's maybe rethink this a little bit.
You know what? The thing is our costumes would probably be better than our acting.
Let's do a photo shoot.
Okay, that's better. I can definitely pretend to be able to.
Pictures. That's more my speed. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ryan wants to know, Andrea, are you dressed as Mia from Pulp Fiction? Ryan.
Yes.
Hi.
Yes. Yeah, it was like, hey, I have all the stuff. I don't have to buy anything. So there we go. And I get to be barefoot. So that's awesome.
And that bob is a good look on you.
Thank you. I use it for quite a few things, but I really love it.
It's so cute. I cannot believe all your hair is under there. Beth, have you seen pictures of Andrea's hair and how long it is?
Yes, that's an impressive head of hair, and it's even more impressive that it's hiding under that tiny wig.
Uh-huh.
It was even smaller wig last time with my Captain Marvel mohawk. Yeah, it's a beast. I look like Cousin It when I take my hair down. It's a mess. But hey.
Hello, Derek. Derek says, howdy, nerdasses. We adore Derek.
Yes, Derek is probably one of our most loyal viewers.
Yes.
For sure.
And Betsy will most likely have a few suggestions for future costumes for you because he likes to do that for all of our guests, which is because
you're usually pretty spot on.
Add some to my list, yes.
Because absolutely. We all needed more. Yes. We all need more added to those. But Derek is so good at nailing like just the right character for you.
Yep. Hello, Keisha. Keisha says hello.
Keisha. Hello, everybody.
Ryan, you are correct. I am hosting both tonight and then I'm covering the morning shift tomorrow
for
the cereal box. And actually, I get the studio to myself because all the other co-hosts heard I was coming and dropped out.
I will be going to a priest ordination in the morning, so I will not be there with you. Sorry.
That's okay. I roped Janet and Marthias into it. They're gonna yes, so we get to talk Shinobi Ninja Princess, all their indie comic stuff,
Janet and Marthias are two of the most awesome people, so you couldn't have better guests.
Mm-hmm. They agreed to it 3 days ago. I asked them right before my surgery. And Crayley says she misses us. Oh, we miss you too.
Hi, everybody. We miss everybody.
Ryan, I would love to have you on. Yes, I will send you the link, Ryan, because Ryan, I love hosting stuff with Ryan. So, yes.
Ryan is the most energetic guest we've ever had.
And he doesn't run when he hears I'm going to be in the studio. I know, Johnny. John says that's not true. We just trust you that much.
We have the worst self-depreciating sense of humor. That's all it is.
And John says, hello, beautiful ladies. Hello, Johnny. All right. So before I go through more comments, because people are talkative tonight and we love you all.
We do.
Beth, why don't we talk about you?
No, do we have to?
No, that's what you're here for. Time to boost somebody else's ego.
Yes. Don't worry, we'll mostly talk 90s movies and
it'll probably end up being, if it's 90s movies, we'll end up talking about Brendan Fraser again. I'm sure that's gonna happen.
That's fine. Yeah.
That was action movies. We'll just carry it over into this.
We'll just talk about cinematic masterpiece, The Mummy 1998 for just hours and hours and hours on end. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Again, because that's what we did during the action movies.
It's the world's most perfect movie.
It is.
It's amazing. There's something for everybody in it. It's like the 90s version of The Princess Bride. There's something for everybody.
Yes.
So yeah.
All right. So
let's talk about Beth.
Yes. How did you get into cosplay, Beth?
I got bored one day.
Best description ever.
That's So, a buddy of mine was one of the original members of the board of directors for Anime Milwaukee. And he just invited me to come check out the show one weekend. It was like 2011, 2012. Saw all these nerds in costume. I was like, I can do that. And then I decided that I would do that. And now it is 2022, and I am still doing that. Story beginning, story middle, story end. There you go.
Beautiful story.
She gave us the little Reader's Digest version there, the little,
I have an
the little
English
Cliff's
degree. I
notes.
understand story structure very well.
Like, I started, I kept going, I'm still going. How's that
I haven't
sound?
stopped yet.
I think if you've gone for 10 years, I don't think there's going to be any stopping. Usually once
Probably
you've
not. You're a
gone,
little committed at that point, and pulling out at this point would just seem uncouth.
yeah, that's a good word.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're so talented, it would be a shame to lose you in
You
the
can't
community.
really walk away and save face at that point.
No, people are like, well, where'd you go? What happened?
You have to have
They
a
might-
reason at that point, and I can't just be like, well, I'm
They
doing
might think
different
you
things.
died or
What
something.
else am I gonna do? Like,
Buddy, no.
I'm gonna go be normal now, y'all.
what is
No.
normal anyway?
Normal, I don't think there is such thing as normal anymore because everybody's so quirky and different now and
No
embraced.
longer a baseline.
Normal
No,
is having a live, laugh, love sign and
Ugh. Yeah. Oh no.
all over your walls. I don't know. No shade to anyone who enjoys that sort of thing, but
Yeah.
If you're gonna do that, at least be ironic about it and make your sign in Comic Sans or something like that, and just like commit to the bit a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. You might as well just make it a little cheesy and goofy.
Maybe a
And
papyrus.
that's-
I don't know.
Oh, go ahead.
Nothing.
So you're also a cosplay historian now.
I am. Oh, I'm not sure if that's an official, professional designation or anything like that, but yeah, I do. I run a panel at cons about the history of cosplay, kind of tracing things back from way early on to the present, and major movements in cosplay, some of the major figures, all that kind of stuff. It's fun.
It's kind of like when you watch stuff on history shows and it's like something expert and you're like, I didn't know that was a thing. If that was, I would have become one. You're like, I would have become one years ago if I knew that was a thing.
Yeah.
It's like somebody who only knows like the history of one type of string or something. You're like, I would have gone obsessive like that if somebody would have told me it was possible to become an expert in it.
If you can turn your neuroatypical hyperfixation into some kind of expertise that gets you money, go for it.
More power
Mine
to
does
you.
not. So
I was gonna say.
occasionally
Yeah.
we have a convention badge though, so that's pretty sweet.
Hey, look, convention entrance is expensive, so a free badge that saves you quite a bit of money going to a con.
I got 2 free badges for Anime Milwaukee next year. That's like $100 and some bucks. So
Yeah.
Lee, you want a ticket to Anime Milwaukee next year?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Sign me
Hey,
up.
I'll come join
Michelle
you.
there.
So how do you research that?
Some of it's just getting lucky. You stumble across something online. I kind of started on, I don't know if Cracked is still running anymore, but the website Cracked had an article about the very first official convention cosplayers, Tori and Moroyo. And I just sort of dove into the rabbit hole from there. I ended up getting in touch with some of the big name cosplayers from the 80s. So that's pretty cool. I'm Facebook friends with at least one of them, maybe 2, maybe. And through them, you just kind of get in touch with other people. You get stories. You find articles. There are a few books. There isn't like a specific cosplay history book that's been written, but there are a few that have been written about cosplay culture that kind of touch on some of the history. And since a lot of cosplay history comes out of the sci-fi fandom, sci-fi fans were really, really good about documenting their conventions and their communities. And they still have websites run by old school sci-fi fans documenting old conventions from like the 50s and 60s and 70s.
Awesome.
Less so the 80s at this point, because it kind of fell off a little bit in the last 30 years or so, but it's really cool to just go in and see what they've uploaded and their stories, and you find out about stuff like I think it was Isaac Asimov in London in the mid 1950s, going to like the set of Doctor Who and getting into one of the Daleks on set just as part of a convention. They just like went over, and it's of course it's the 1950s or 60s or something. Security is not a thing on these sets yet, so you can just kind of walk in between takes, and yeah, it's cool stuff.
I mean, it's even
so
wilder that it's Isaac Asimov doing it. Like,
Asimov was always there in London. It was always Isaac Asimov at these things, and in the US it was always Ray Bradbury. He was everywhere. Like, you couldn't go to a convention without just stumbling on a drunk Ray Bradbury. I don't know if he was ever actually drunk, but he might have.
I mean, a lot of people get drunk at cons, so it's not.
A thing.
It's not unheard of that he possibly could have been drunk.
And their parties were pretty legendary. They talk about them still.
Well, and I've looked at some of the pictures from the 60s, and all the cosplay is topless. And I love that.
Oh, it wasn't always just topless.
It's stuff we couldn't show on our show, but
you know what? The Facebook photos are censored, but it was not just women either.
Oh no!
The
60s was pretty freewheeling.
They had to put the kibosh on that. Conventions had to stop doing that because they like to rebook venues. I'm not sure if you've ever noticed that. And running around nude, and in one case slathered in peanut butter, is a really good way to get a convention to not be allowed to rebook a hotel the next year.
Yeah.
I've heard you tell the peanut butter story on a podcast, but
shit cosplayer. You want me to tell the story? Okay. This is cosplay legend, and as it sometimes happens, history becomes legend becomes myth. Things that should not have been forgotten are lost. There's a rat climbing into my shirt right now. It was 1974. It was a gentleman by the name of Scott Shaw, and he decided that he was going to enter a cosplay contest dressed as a character called the Turd, who was a parody of Swamp Thing, except instead of being made of swamp foliage, he was made of shit. I'm allowed to swear, right?
I mean,
a little bit.
Keep it
Okay. Well, he was made of shit. So Mr. Shaw decided that in order to properly and authentically portray this character, he was going to strip down to his underpants and slather himself in creamy peanut butter. So he gets up on stage, and if you've ever been on a stage, you know stage lights are pretty hot.
Yes.
And peanut butter is largely fat, and fat, when it gets under heat, starts to melt. That is exactly what happened to Mr. Shaw's costume. It started to just sort of run off of him. He ended up running back to his hotel room, just kind of leaving peanut buttery, sticky footprints in his wake. And ended up having like a 2-inch thick ring of peanut butter left in his hotel bathtub when he tried to wash it off and plugged up the plumbing for the entire hotel floor.
I feel like he's the reason cosplay contests say no costume is no costume.
Yeah, and don't use food in your cosplay. There was apparently also a Twinkie incident in the 80s that I don't have any firm documentation on it. It was the
Lady
80s.
Gaga's meat dress has nothing on these cosplayers.
The Twinkie incident apparently involved. Yeah, the Twinkie incident apparently involved someone being force-fed Twinkies on stage as part of a cosplay skit. And when you're force-fed a dozen Twinkies, of course, there's not a whole lot of room in your stomach for a dozen Twinkies, so they have to come up somewhere.
Oh my goodness. I'm pretty sure that idea was formed at a party.
There was probably alcohol involved when they
Most
planned
likely.
it.
It was the 80s. It was cocaine.
Oh yeah. There was never enough of that.
That's what I was dancing around.
Oh goodness, yeah. Like I think we're all pretty tame compared to the cosplayers of the
You
past.
know what? We've lost a step or two, I think.
It might be a thing.
Is it?
I mean, my body is glad for that. I don't think I can handle partying like the 80s or the 60s.
Oh no.
The creativity of those eras, though.
Love that part. Love that part. I'm too lazy to party like they did.
For real.
Also too broke to party like they did.
Also that, yeah.
Yeah, I work on a retail salary, so yeah.
But also they a lot of the costumes were original designs back then, because finding reference images, like if you wanted to do fandom, you had to buy like 20 movie tickets.
Yeah.
Even VHS wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
VHS wasn't a thing until the late 70s,
Yeah.
and even then, if you were lucky to have the movie that you wanted on VHS, yeah, it was.
Pausing it wasn't very clear. It was only, and if you had a comic book, you had to hope they drew all the angles of the comic book character. Yeah, we take for granted what the internet can give us.
We really do.
Less the internet, though. I love that the cosplay community of today not only has those readily available reference images, but so many cosplayers put tutorials out to share with each other, and that's not a thing that used to be done.
Even in the early 2000s, they were hard to find when I first started cosplaying.
Up until the late 90s, a lot of it was informed by the competitive cosplay culture that you got at places like Costume Con and things like that, where people were kind of like, these are my secrets. This is how I get a leg up on my competition. I'm not going to tell you anything about this. And recently, I admit I've known about this for a lot longer than the rest of the internet has, but there was one of the original cosplay tutorials was by an individual who goes by Pen Wiper, and they put out one of the very first EVA foam tutorials of how to make armor out of EVA foam.
Tutorial.
It still holds up. It's really, really good. And apparently the armor that they made still holds up too. Even it's been 20 years now.
Almost 20 years.
Yeah, around that. And they made an Aomer from the Lord of the Rings, and they said they could still wear it. So that's pretty awesome.
I remember following that tutorial to make like 1.0 of my Wonder Woman, and it was a good tutorial. Yeah, I used craft foam. But like, excellent tutorial, really well done, and then after that, all of a sudden people started going, hey, if I share my knowledge, let's see what other people can make.
And you get feedback back of how to improve things, and you get the opportunity to learn from other people about things you maybe not be familiar with. Like,
it's way better.
Yeah, no, I remember like when I first made some tutorials or some stuff that I figured out like back in the Naruto cosplay days, like how to do Sakura's curved zipper. People are like, oh, you're going to actually tell people how to do that? I'm like, well, other people want to make it. Why wouldn't I tell you how I did it? I'm like, it's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be gatekeeping and, oh, this is my secret. You can't have it. I want to see other people making cool costumes too. That's the whole point. Right. A bunch of nerds playing dress up, and it's been a bunch of nerds playing dress up for 100 years almost.
If they do it better than you, you can learn how they did it, and you can make yours better, and then you can beat them next time.
You just tweak it and learn. It's a learning process. Like I think every single cosplayer that makes their stuff, they learn something new almost every time they make anything.
John, do cons have something against boobies? Well,
fully exposed ones, yes. On women.
Apparently the law has something against boobies, which that's a whole topic.
But once again, only on women, because I've seen plenty of shirtless men that have bigger boobies than some of the women at the cons.
Such a ridiculous law.
Just saying.
It's a ridiculous law. You know what? Ridiculous law. But
I mean, I probably wouldn't go shirtless at a con, but if another woman wants to, I am all for her if the law wouldn't say no.
Well, in general, why are
Yeah.
men allowed to go shirtless, but women?
Yeah.
Men, why aren't you writing your senators about this? Equality.
Come
Equality.
on. We need our male feminists here. Come on, guys. If we can't, you can't.
Remember when we were going to be talking about 90s, and then we started talking about the history of cosplay, and then peanut butter, and then
Boobies.
tutorials, and now we're talking about the patriarchy and fourth wave feminism.
Welcome to our show. It's a train wreck.
But it's a fun train wreck.
And now we're talking about gatekeeping with Star Wars.
Oh God.
Let's not do that.
Yeah.
Not saying let's not talk about it. Let's not gatekeep, and let's keep the racism out of Star Wars, y'all.
Yeah. I mean, there's literally tons of races, so.
Go on record saying I think Moses Ingram is one of the best parts of Kenobi.
I mean, she's fantastic, so there we go.
She's so much fun to watch, and she's clearly building something with that character. When you watch, there's a fair amount of subtlety going on in her choices.
She's making a villain that I'm really loving to hate.
Yeah.
So.
And you want to see what her motivation is, because she's implying that there is a lot behind that character that hasn't been revealed yet, and I'm excited to see what it is.
Same.
Also, Little Leia is amazing, and I'm seeing a lot of rumblings about the fandom hating her to it. I'm like, why? Let's not.
The Star Wars fandom doesn't like. Okay, the small the little minority that's the gatekeepers. They don't like inclusivity because
like Star Wars is what.
That's the problem. Is they say they love Star Wars, but they do nothing but bash it.
That's the point.
Yeah,
that's the point.
Yeah, I'm like, they threw a fit when Rey came in. They're like, oh, do we need another woman? Maybe. Just maybe we need a few more women in Star Wars. Leia was like the only one for so long.
Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, how many were in the prequels?
Padme.
She's kind of counts. She's more of a prop than
She had beautiful costumes.
Yeah, that was kind of her point.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, hi Casper. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to miss your comment. Casper says 90s movies are amazing. Casper is on topic. Yes to free badges, and MCFC did that once for Avatar Clash. Kristen and I,
yes,
are amazing.
Yes, Casper's awesome. Casper is one of my local buddies. Yeah. Okay, 90s. We might get back there. We've been halfway through the episode.
Yeah. And then Steven saying hi, Fred Kier. Fred, have you made a comment? I have not seen it.
I didn't see Fred.
Comment that I had to block, so that might be. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw those. That was fun.
You know what? That's how you know. That's how you know you're getting bigger reach if you're big enough to get targeted.
Do they have bots listening? They heard us say boobies. Is that what it is? Is that what?
Oh my gosh, that's almost definitely what happened.
Okay, we're okay. We're okay, guys. We're okay.
Okay. Let's since we're halfway through the episode, let's start showing up some of Beth's pictures.
Yes, let's let Beth talk about Beth some more.
Oh, do we have to?
Yes, because you make amazing costumes. So.
Well, bijou.
All right, so talk about this costume for a minute.
So this is original design. This is Bijou from Hamtaro, the early 2000s anime about hamsters. And I decided that she's my favorite character. She's this cute little white French hamster, very prim, very proper. So I decided I was going to make my own design of her, and decided I would take some influences from classic Lolita fashion, a little bit vintage 1940s fashion, just go kind of a little bit French schoolgirl. And of course, I like to compete with cosplay, so I entered her at Anime Milwaukee. She won Best Masters that year. That was 2020, just before everything shut down.
Fun times.
And yeah, she's in a cute little girl hamster outfit.
So
Her blouse is one of the best things I've ever made. It's a vintage 1940s blouse with a little bit of a bishop sleeve. It's got pin tucks. I knit her gloves. Those are hand knit. And you can't see her cape very well on here, but it's got just a little capelet with a fur trim, and it's a very sort of luminous wool silk blend that it just has a really beautiful drape. And yeah, it's a very cute little outfit, and I love her.
I really like it.
It is precious. I love it.
Right. This is one of my favorites of yours.
This is this was again for a competition group, also at Anime Milwaukee. This was 2019. We had a group of all of the Eevees, and we did them as inspired by the Greek gods. So I was Espeon, which we decided was, since Espeon as a Pokemon evolves during the day, Espeon was Apollo, its counterpart Umbreon was Artemis, the goddess of the moon, and we had all of the Eevees. We had Sylveon was Aphrodite, Eevee itself was Hermes, the messenger of the gods, because it comes first before all of the other evolutions. Obviously, Jolteon was Zeus, Poseidon was Vaporeon, all that kind of thing. It was a really fun group, and we ended up getting best group cosplay and best walk on. We got 2 awards for that one.
Nice.
Yeah,
I love it.
Like I said, this is one of my favorites of yours.
Yeah, I made the lyre out of EVA foam, and you can actually pluck the strings.
That's awesome.
This is Bella Goth from The Sims.
Another favorite.
I actually thought about wearing my plum bob tonight since the game came out in like 1998-99, but I've got another headband on. It wouldn't have worked very well. But made my own little red cocktail dress. It actually fits well enough that I can actually do like a fainting Sims pratfall in it without getting any, exposure. To get for indecent exposure. So
because of the bots.
Yes, because for the titties.
Let's see if that brings a comment again.
It probably will.
But yeah, no, I consider it kind of one of my biggest accomplishments as a seamstress, being able to make a strapless dress that does not fall down when I do.
Impressive.
Yeah,
look, just walking in a strapless makes it want to come down sometimes.
So no, she fits me like a glove, and
that's amazing.
She's a lot of fun to wear. Momo. This one I just competed with at Anime Milwaukee this past February. She is a Gajinka design of Momo from Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card. The magical girl anime. Momo herself in the anime is like a cute little stuffed bunny. This is a fan design of her. The dress is airbrushed and gold leafed for the moon, and on it it's silk painted for the clouds. Do you want construction notes on all of this? Because I got them. The sash thing around my arms is dip dyed, and it has rhinestones on it. There's rhinestones all over this thing. And yeah, she won Best Masters this year at Anime Milwaukee, and her and I was in a little bit of contention for Best in Show, but unfortunately the person who got Best in Show edged me out just a little bit. Like, fine, I guess.
That Best in Show can be elusive sometimes.
I know, right?
That's the one I don't have as a full-on Best in Show, and I am determined to get one.
What I'm gunning for with my current project that I'm working on, but maybe Momo's actually going to be part of a group. There are 3 guardians in Cardcaptor Sakura, and this artist who did this Momo did all 3 of them. So I have 2 other people who are going to be making the other 2, and eventually we're going to enter something as the whole group.
As a huge Clamp fan, I totally appreciate this. I love Clamp designs.
And this thing is so gorgeous. Yeah, I've seen other people do this particular dress, but for the blue part at the bottom of the skirt, they did like a separate piece. And I ended up getting an airbrush and figuring out how to use it on this fabric specifically so that I could get that kind of gradient watercolor sort of feel that the artist did on the dress. So I'm very pleased with how this one turned out.
It's so pretty.
Beautiful.
That is my baby. That's my tea gown. She was my pandemic project. She is a mostly historically accurate 1880s tea gown that was made out of an old furisode kimono. I actually took the kimono apart, put it back together in the shape of this dress. And she has a full set of Victorian undergarments. She's got 2 petticoats. She's got a butt pad. She's got an actual corset that I made for her. Oh no, I said tits, and now they want whores.
Oh my god!
Yeah, we're getting like hit hard right now.
This is such a raunchy episode.
I know, right? And we thought that was going to be our Halloween one back in October.
Kelly, you've seen my Facebook posts. You knew this was coming.
Yeah.
But about the costume you're talking about, I watched you working on this one on Instagram and was just drooling the whole time you were working on it. I love Victorian. I love bustles. I love kimono. Oh, the fabric is so gorgeous.
Yeah, this particular kimono, it's got gold on it. It's all shibori, so it's got that little tie-dye to it. I tried to keep as much of that intact when I was making the garment as I possibly could.
It is so pretty.
The dyeing and painting techniques used on kimono are so impressive. It's one of those things I'm like, I wished I had the patience to learn it because I've watched it be done and it is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like their fabrics are just to die for. I own a couple of like vintage kimono and I'm almost scared to touch them because they're so well made that they're not going to fall apart. But at the same time, I'm like, don't want to mess them up.
I've got a couple that were damaged that I've taken apart and I've got them rolled up in their bolts to be reclaimed into something else at some point. And then a couple of friends and I are going to be going down to Illinois to visit Tangerine Mountain's warehouses in a couple of weeks. Tangerine Mountain is a kimono retailer. They get shipments in directly from Japan of old kimono to resell to the Western market. So that's going to be a lot of fun too.
I need to visit that place. That sounds like kind of a bit of heaven for me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. Pearl. She's from a few years ago. Pearl was my favorite character, the character I most like on Steven Universe, kind of the neurotic, hyper-intellectual one. Who's also, pasty pale. The fun thing about her is that she is based on a ballet dancer, and I had ballet training until I was about 19 or 20. So when I cosplay her, I kind of rework my ballet skills, kind of get my ankles and my feet back in shape so that I can wear point shoes for her and actually do proper ballet poses with her. So it's always a fun one to wear. That's your research. This is a Pokemon. I've decided I'm going to take that skirt up a couple of inches at some point soon. But she is inspired by one of my favorite fashion periods, the 60s mod era, where everything was very, very slim, very sort of sci-fi inspired, very color blocked. Yes. And the challenge for me on this one was trying to figure out how to get a harness for that big ass tail under this very tiny dress that doesn't have a whole lot of place to hide the harness, which I managed to do pretty successfully. The dress itself, you can't really see it in this photo, but it does have a lace overlay that goes in kind of a crisscross shape. And that overlay is rhinestoned all over it. It hand placed several hundred rhinestones on this thing so that she's nice and sparkly when I walk. And Star Wars. Hey, Star Wars. Yeah, Mon Mothma, kind of my girl. I keep hoping that they will bring her back in something because I think she would be a really interesting character. I kind of hoped that they had brought her back for the sequel series because the actress is still out there. She's still working.
Right. It's looking like she's going to be in Andor.
Oh.
That looks like some of the pictures from the stills and the little quick trailer. She might be in the
nice. With the new actress from Rogue One?
I think so.
Okay.
It looked like it. I'm assuming it's her. It's the only other redheaded woman I know of in Star Wars.
Right. So. Yeah. There are 3 women in Star Wars. She's got to be one of them.
Aside from Mara Jade, who's not allowed to be canon anymore.
Yeah.
But I love her cape that I made for this. I decided this was before I was familiar with her costume for the prequel series, so I decided I was going to take her Return of the Jedi outfit and kind of just elevate it a little bit. So I ended up finding this really beautiful metallic knit fabric that matched the color of her Return of the Jedi outfit, but had a little sparkle in it. So I decided I would, when I found this fabric, I was like, oh, would be perfect for that. And that's what inspired me to end up making this outfit, was just finding that fabric at Joann. And I decided I would just do like a slightly, Mon Mothma Return of the Jedi era on kind of a holiday, or maybe in front of the Senate, just something with a little extra zhuzh to it.
Nice. And Derek confirms Mon Mothma is going to be in Andor. And
Nice.
Derek knows he knows his Star Wars. All right. And this
I
is
defer to
why
other people.
And Squirrel Girl, she was my first major competition win. At DaishoCon 2015, I think it was. Got best in class with her as a beginner. Big old tail, sort of acts like a backpack. It snaps on at my butt, and it's got sort of backpack straps. Ended up kind of just making a lot of stuff up on this one. I got the jacket pattern. I kind of had to rework to get the collar the way I wanted it, to shorten the jacket. I had to reshape the sleeve a little bit because it didn't quite work. The sleeve arm side didn't quite work with backpack straps of the tail. The squirrel that I'm holding, my tippy toe, is actually a stuffed squirrel that I've had since I was like a year old. His name's Fred.
Oh.
Yeah, this Fred gets to cosplay with me. He crossplays Tippy Toe.
I love that.
And Ministry of Silly Walks. This one's a closet cosplay. I did not actually make anything for this one, but I love Monty Python. And at one point, I decided I just wanted to do something kind of stupid, and I decided I would be the Minister of Silly Walks. So whenever I actually wear him at a convention, I do indeed do some kind of stupid walk. And either people get it or they don't get it, and the ones who do get it absolutely love it. The other Monty Python outfit I want to do is the John Cleese from the Dead Parrots sketch. I haven't found the outfit that I want to use for it yet, or the birdcage, but I do have the parrot sitting over on one of my shelves over here, just waiting for the day when it happens. And then Judy Funny, who is my cartoon sister from another mister, she and I both recite Shakespeare, and we're both a little too erudite for our own good. I'm kind of a beast at knitting, so I knit her hat and her sweater dress.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have no patience for that.
And then the rest is just bought items. She's just one of those fun outfits. She's another one of those people either get her or they don't outfits. People who were there for the 90s generally appreciate her well.
Yes.
Another Pachirisu. This one has some of my jewelry visible. The jewelry that I have on this is all vintage 1960s Bakelite jewelry. Yeah.
Very nice.
Blathers, this one's a little grainy. He's also a closet cosplay. He is pretty much all vintage. His jacket is vintage. The mohair vest is very, very warm and very, very ugly and very, very 1970s vintage. The pants are actually made out of a kimono wool. I've got a bolt of kimono fabric, so I made those pants. And then he's based on one of my favorite English professors from when I was in college. He was just this extremely brilliant man from London who looked like he hadn't purchased a new item of clothing since at least 1965. And usually looked like he had slept in most of his clothes. So I was
Fashion icon.
I was like, this is a tribute to you, sir.
I love it.
This is Jean from Lunar 2, and she is a little bit of a departure from me. I usually don't like showing this much skin because I don't like getting sunburns.
I feel you on that one.
I am a pasty white bitch. So,
Yep.
but the character is kind of She's a secret karate master hiding out as a belly dancer with a band of carnies in the forest when the hero of this JRPG finds her. So I was like, well, that's certainly a backstory. And a buddy of mine who's a big fan of this game invited me to join a group that he was putting together for it. And I'm like, well, that's a character I can pull off pretty well, and obviously I've got the legs for it. So
Those dancer legs.
yes, so it was a good time.
And I snuck in some Romy and Michelle.
Yes,
So we can show off your Michelle. I love this.
yeah. I still have to fix the straps on it. They were a little long, and I need to hike them up a little bit. But we were so cute. I loved that every single person who recognized us was gay. like the drag queens all knew exactly who we were.
Romy and Michelle are gay icons. Okay?
Absolutely.
They are drag queen icons.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they basically are drag queens. Like
The whole movie is camp. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is very campy.
Also, Derek has come up with suggestions for you. So he suggests
Ooh.
Major Motoko Kusanagi from Ghost.
I've had that one thrown at me before, yeah.
Chris from Blade Runner, and Senua of Senua's Sacrifice, and maybe Dr. Aphra from the Star Wars comics.
I'm not familiar with Senua.
That's one that Robin does, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Senua's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
And then, hello, Garrett. So good to see you.
I'll see him next weekend.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah, I get to
Give
see
him a
some
big
people.
hug for me.
I will. I'll give all the people that you don't get to see big old hugs.
That could be fun. Leather work. Yeah. Anyway.
We are still getting spam.
Nice.
Now we know what happens when we drop naughty words.
We get bots.
We do.
What other ones can?
This is.
They're not very creative, though. We need better swear words to get better bots.
All right, so let's go through our. We don't have as many submissions this week because I dropped the ball in making our ad and getting it out there.
You were sick. It's understandable.
Look, it's been, like I said, since the last episode, it's been a very long 2 weeks. So
Yeah, well, I had a kidney stone for 3 weeks, so
yeah, and everybody's had stuff going on.
Yep, but we have lovely Lauren.
I was like, when she sent that, I was like, oh my god, that movie did come out in the 90s. I always think of The Bride of Chucky as like in the 2000s, but it was 98.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my goodness.
And she is gorgeous.
Of course, always.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that one
Anastasia.
is Anastasia.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I was so excited because people, I guess when most people think 90s, they think like the live action, but I had people send like animated ones, and I was so excited. She made this whole dress herself and everything. That's so beautiful. I loved it.
So pretty.
Yes. Classic 90s. I mean, come on.
That is as 90s as you can get, and that looks amazing.
That's all you gotta say. That is 90s horror right there.
And then we have Crayley as Sarah Connor.
Nice.
Because
And there should be one more submission too after Crayley's. It was the two. It's the one right under the Scream guy. You want me to click it when you're done?
yes, please go for it.
Okay, I got you. This one.
Nice.
Yeah, those are wow.
That's
Those are
insane.
really good.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah. This one I got these from Tennessee cosplayers because it was in one of the it was in the Cosplayers of Tennessee Facebook page. So we got some talent down here in the South, y'all.
Yes, you do. I got.
Yeah, they sent they're like, do animated ones count? I'm like, they post these like, yes, they definitely count. Look at those.
Yeah, they do.
That was a great Oogie Boogie sculpt.
Like, who didn't love a Goofy movie? Like, everybody, even to this day, is so like always into the it's like coming back. People are talking about it a whole lot more again. So like it's perfect 90s. It was so 90s.
Also, that song.
Yes. Yeah, we all know.
That song's still a bop.
Garrett says, "Wow, that Oogie Boogie and Pete is great." Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so follow them. That's their Instagram handle on the picture. We'll post them on our Instagram for people to follow as well. Follow our amazing submissions. I'm going to take this little guy down now so we can see everybody.
And now we have not done our cosplay catwalk. Now, Beth, you're exempt.
Listen,
I know you're not feeling well.
listen, I brought him. Here he is. He's my boy.
He needs
This
to
is
do the catwalk.
everybody knows me for this one, so I brought the boy.
John says he's blocked from the Cosplayers of Tennessee page. What?
Really? I don't know. I can see if, because you can it can be invited anybody. I'll see if I can invite you to it, Johnny.
Yeah, Jenny, you should be in it. And if they blocked you, it's their loss.
If they blocked you, then we'll do like Bender says, and we'll go create our own.
Blackjack.
So, forget it. I love Futurama. That show was so stupid and amazing. I love that show.
All right, Andrea, do you want to get up and do a catwalk?
Y'all want to see my whole little like black pants, white shirt combo here?
Yes, you do.
Don't expect me to dance because it's not good.
You're not going to do the Pulp Fiction dance?
Oh no, I would look terrible. But there you can. I'm like right against my fireplace.
I'm too sexy for my cosplay. Woo! So sexy.
I can't push the chair back. I'm right in front of my fireplace.
All right, I'll do mine. Let's see if I've left myself enough room. Too sexy for my cosplay. I'm too sexy.
For your very shiny.
I'm trying to do the time after time dance, but yeah, I'm like early. And then I am not. Yeah, I gotta lift. No, I can't lift it and show off my shoes unless you all want me to show off a little more.
Oh no!
Already started the line of our.
We have sex bots coming in here right now. Leave feet out of it.
All right, and Garrett is working on Bruno from Encanto, and he plans to carry a plush Remy with him. Yes,
Bruno's on my list now. It just kind of has to happen.
Oh yeah.
And then Ryan has 3 shows tomorrow now. You know what, Ryan? No regrets. We're gonna have fun. I do love Ryan.
Yes, love Ryan.
All right, so we are running close to the end of the hour. So Beth, do you have any final words for people about cosplay? Any advice to new cosplayers, perhaps?
Don't start cosplay.
Run while you still have money.
Listen, I am currently hand embroidering an 18th century suit coat. So take it from me. This is a terrible thing, and you want nothing to do with it.
Admire the other crazy people.
So that's my advice. Run like hell. Well, you still can.
Because once you start,
it gets its hooks in you.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
That is a break from our usual advice. I love it.
I think I love it because everybody else's like advice is just go for it, just have fun with it, and Beth is like run.
No, you know what? I will give you something. Rather than being inspirational, I will give you something practical, okay? Set aside a cosplay budget, okay? This is actual practical advice. This is a thing that I actually do. Like just $25 a paycheck, just throw it to the side so that when you see that gorgeous, beautiful, color-shifting blue and pink Dupioni silk on Silk Baron and its $40 a yard and you really, really want it, you have some money set aside to actually get it instead of putting it on your credit card and regretting it for 6 months later.
I think she just described me looking to make a new Princess Aurora gown.
I was just going to say, as soon as you said that, I'm like, Aurora?
Uh-huh.
Salt Bear.
I'm
I
not
wish
gonna
I could make
never
everything.
occurred to me.
I wish I could make everything with fabric from Silk Baron, but alas, I am not rich.
Yeah.
But they have beautiful fabrics when you can't afford them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing they don't do sales.
They do actually.
They do.
They're not for yardage, not for like big yardage, but they will do like scrap sales and leftover
like
sales.
Remnants a yard and a half or something. But
if
like,
you're gonna make a gown, that doesn't help you.
You're not going to make a gown out of what you get, but if you do something like you need accessories or something like that, you can get some good stuff for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm on their like newsletter, so I get like the emails of all the new colors that they put out, and I'm just over here like just going, who's gonna pay for me to just make things? Because I want to order this right now. I don't know what I'm gonna make with it, but I want to order it right now so bad. I'd probably just make a ton of like bustle gowns and princess dresses with it all day long.
That would be lovely to see.
Yeah.
So you know what, y'all? If you want to see Andrea do that, support our show.
Hint, hint. You know, we're like.
And one of the many ways you can do that is, I should have had this running the whole time, but you can go to the link in our show notes and buy from ycosplay.com. Just go to our show link and your purchases go towards the show because we get credit for sales made through that link. You can also contact us. Go to our linktree.com/cosplay cafe podcast, and there are many ways to support our show. Lots of information.
Just watching is a huge support, but if you want to send us some money, we're not going to be upset about it, is what we're saying. The whole buy me a coffee for the Cereal Box Network, and
we also have merch.
Yes, I don't have my cup with me.
Also there, so you can get yourself some swag.
Wear something that says "I'm too sexy for my cosplay" everywhere.
So, Beth, where can everyone find you?
Usually curled up in the fetal position.
We don't want them to find you then, though.
Okay. Usually, I am easiest to find if you're interested in the cosplay stuff on Instagram. I'm at laughing_rat. I am also on Facebook at Laughing Rat Cosplay, but far less frequently. Instagram also has lots and lots of rat content. So if you enjoy adorable rats and occasional photos of interesting bugs I find outside, follow me on Instagram. Yeah, that's really the only place I am.
That's a good place.
Instagram tends to be a little better.
It's not as bad as some of the other social media websites. It's a little easier to curate.
Agreed.
I'm always here for cute rat content and the random bugs.
Yeah, love bugs.
Yeah. And I find a lot of weird ones, so.
All right. Well, I think that's our show. Thank you for being on, Beth.
Yeah, anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a great weekend.
Bye.